Okay, all right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Yes, thank you so much. Today we are going to be discussing Chelsea. Chelsea don't lose points. Yes, Chelsea have lost points, and at this point now, Manchester United will have to be taking account of what Chelsea has done today. For me, I just feel say Chelsea today has didn't do anything right. They did not do anything right, and that's I think that's to advantage of Manchester United. And now this is the time where Manchester United have to actually take advantage of these lapses and go ahead and create a memory for us, because as it is now, we suppose they top four and guaranteed. You know what it means by getting a guaranteed space on the top four. Yes, we suppose they there. We suppose they top four right now. So this is an opportunity for Manchester United to actually go top of the on top of what's it called, on top of Chelsea, and get closer to Aston Villa. This is the opportunity we have, and Michael Carrick has to understand this. That is why I said that that is why I said clearly that the game against that is why I said that the game against Everton is going to be a really, really serious one. Yes, because that game actually is going to confirm to us what Michael Carrick is all about. He's played 5, he's won 4, and he's drawn 1. But this is going to be a very serious game for Manchester United. The Everton game is going to be a really serious game for Manchester United, and that at that point, Manchester United will have to know what Michael Carrick is all about. Because for me, see, Michael Carrick has played teams. The way he came into the job was actually interesting. First goal, first match against Man City, and he demolished them practically. Second match against Arsenal, and he went out there and he did a very good job against Arsenal, beating them 3-2. Third match against Fulham, he went out there. Manchester United conceded 2 goals at Fulham, conceded 2 goals against Arsenal, but they eventually won those games. Now this is what I tell you about winning those games, because Manchester United is actually really, really a team that does not give up, a team that fights it out. That is the reason why I think that they were able to do it and win that, and they win that Premier League game, because they were able to have that mentality. They were able to have that fight in them, and that is why they were able to win those games against City, against Arsenal, and against Fulham. And against Tottenham, they had to show spirit. They shut Tottenham up. They made sure that they kept Tottenham at bay, and they won that game 2-1 effortlessly. Right? 2 games. It was now 2 games for Manchester United to have a clean sheet. Manchester United had 2 clean sheets in 4 games, and then the game, the West Ham game presented itself, where I thought that they were actually very, very resilient. See, one thing about the Manchester United West Ham game, what I took away from that game was that Manchester United are a resilient team that will not give up, that will keep fighting until the end. Right? And if we look at it, that they will not give, as like a team that does not give up, a team that knows what they want, they are direct. I will be discussing the different characteristics of Manchester United players, and this is why I think that we have that ability to take advantage of the games played today. Chelsea, and also again Aston Villa against Leeds United, Chelsea against Burnley. For me, I think that we have that ability to take advantage, because I'm going to discussing the characteristics of different players at Manchester United, and tell you and give you exactly why I think that we can take advantage of this the Manchester the games today. First of all, let us talk about Michael Carrick himself. He's a student of Sir Alex Ferguson. And if you look at Sir Alex Ferguson built Manchester United on resilience, on belief. Yes, it is not over until it's over. We fight it out. Yes, have they shown that character under Michael Carrick? Yes, they've shown the character under Michael Carrick, and they've given something very, very serious, under Michael Carrick. And then when we probe further, when we go further, we know that Manchester United was built on attacking football, making sure that you attack the opponent, because there is a saying that the attack is the best form of defense. So Manchester United attacking this team actually has given Manchester United that ability to attack. So Michael Carrick have shown two characteristics from Sir Alex Ferguson: believe, staying put, always believing, fighting till the end, and then attacking, pure attacking football. And Manchester United was built on discipline and focus. So if Manchester United players actually have that focus, stay disciplined, I think that they can qualify, they can make it in the top four and stay right there and qualify for Champions League football. We know that Manchester United deserves nothing less than Champions League football. Yes. So if we talk about Michael Carrick as a coach, he has shown some level, some ability. He has shown some wit. So for me, I think that we have to actually be optimistic in the game against West Ham. West Ham, the first time we meet West Ham beat us, right? Yes, we were defeated at West Ham 1-0, and in that game, West Ham was even one man down, and that was a situation that aggravated a lot of Manchester United fans. Why would West Ham be one man down and beating Manchester United? There is no way that can happen. So if we talk about it, if we look at it clearly, you will know that Manchester United have players, characteristics that can win us, get us into the top four. Let us now start with Sonny Lamens, the goalkeeper for Manchester United. Let us look at Sonny Lamens, the goalkeeper for Manchester United. He is a very, 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 very strong-headed minded player. He has the ability to think. He has the ability to stay put. Look at what he's done. When we had Aitai India in goal for Manchester United, Aitai India was not giving Manchester United any positivity, because he didn't have that ability. He didn't have that ability to go for Manchester United. That was why Aitai India was not, he did not give Manchester United that belief. Most of the goals, even against Manchester City, I remember one game against Manchester City where Aitai India was on the floor already before even Haaland played the ball. Aitai India was on the floor already, and that is where I thought, or that is when I believe that you can actually get that Sonny Lamens guy to start keeping for Manchester United, because he's shown so much wit, he's shown so much belief, he's shown ability. For me, that is what I think. I think he showed ability for Manchester United. He's shown great ability to play for the club, and I feel like, yes, he has to come in and play for Manchester United. So for me, Sonny Lamens is a goalkeeper that I believe that gives us I'm sorry. Yes, Sonny Lamens is a goalkeeper that gives us what we would want, what we would admire. If we talk about our attacking position players, let us talk. If you look at players like Matheus Cunha, players like Brian Mbeumo, we look at players like Dogu, we look at players like Ahmad, and then we look at Bruno Fernandes, and then we look at Benjamin Sesko. All of these players give us something special. We know that Brian Mbeumo is a very direct player, and he has the ability to cut in from the right also. This same thing with Ahmad. The difference between Brian Mbeumo and Ahmad is that Ahmad is very tricky. Yes, he's very trickish, and he can actually swab his way in between players. He knows how to dribble. And that is one very important quality about Ahmad, his ability to twist and turn in between and then move out. That is a very, very beautiful thing about Ahmad. And then if we talk about Brian Mbeumo is a player that is very direct. He has an eye for goal. He knows how to make his runs, and he is very, very good on the ball, in the final third. That is, and for me, I think it's a very, very good quality for Brian Mbeumo. Yes, I think it's a very good quality for him, because he has that ability to go for the ball. He has that ability to run with the ball. He has the ability to pick out passes. Brian Mbeumo many times has played as a right winger Brentford, and that is where I think that Manchester United should be playing him regularly, because we have a Benjamin Sesko who can play in the striking position, and then if we move Brian Mbeumo to the right, we would have to have an Ahmad that you can play with his trickery and with his abilities. Manchester United can get into final third. Now there is something significant. The Everton team have tall players in their back line. They have really tall players, and for Manchester United to compete with this team, we need to bring in players of the same quality. Yes, and that is where I am thinking that in this game, Manchester United need to bring in a player like Benjamin Sesko to come and play, because he gives Manchester United a different dynamic. If we play Brian Mbeumo, we play Ahmad, let Matheus Cunha will come from the bench, right? This will give Manchester United proper width on the pitch, right? And we will know that we have the ability to cross balls into the 18-yard box. Yes, we can cross in, because as it is right now, until we have a set piece, until we have a corner kick, before we see players like Harry Maguire and Casemiro come into the box to head the ball. That is until we have set pieces. But before set pieces, we do not have a player that you can cross the ball into. Like, you can go long and expect the player to get the ball. Many times when Brian Mbeumo has played in that position, in the number 9 position, so many times we've seen balls being taken off him. We've seen many times where the defenders of the opposition defender can actually get on top of Mbeumo and head the ball away. So for me, I think that Benjamin Sesko give Manchester United a different width entirely, a different he's tall, he's strong, he's a very big lad, he's a very strong lad, and if you give him the ball, he can welcome it and actually use the ball. This is very important for me. When you look at Manchester United, we need to also play in our wingers. Many of the times when we play direct, we play through boxes. That is what I've noticed about Michael Carrick. We play through boxes, and the reason why we can do this clearly or cleanly is because we have a defender that can play properly, and that is Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro Martinez, ever since he came into the team, he has been very good for Manchester United, playing through channels. Look at most of the games where we need to play out from the back. Lisandro Martinez has been very instrumental, getting the ball off Harry Maguire and being able to drive. You can see his confidence. He is press resistant. He rarely loses the ball, right? And that is why I love Lisandro Martinez in that position. So as we have Lisandro Martinez and we can play out from the back, something tells me that Everton has seen this, and they would want to mount a block or go man for man, or they will decide to shut it up at the back. And shutting it out at the back means that they have a lot of men at the back. So Manchester United will need to break the wall. And this is why I think that Benjamin Sesko will be very instrumental in that position. Where he gets into the box, we can get crosses into him. Because a situation where Everton gets a goal, they are going to lock up the place. So we need somebody who can actually compete for duels. We need somebody who can actually compete for balls, so that very important. If ball goes into his path, we can set up for second balls. Okay, the defenders will decide to round him up. We can decide to set up for second balls, but we get into these channels, set up to win second balls, and we can use all of that to hurt Everton. It is very, very important that we look at different channels at which we can hurt Everton, because that team has beaten us, and this time we need to make sure that we get a win of them. Getting a win of them takes us into the third position. Let me show you something. Look at the Premier League table. Let us look at the Premier League table. Now, in the Premier League table, Arsenal is 58 points. Man City is 53 points. That is 5 point difference. As Man City has a game that will be coming up very soon. right? Man City have a game that will be coming up very soon. And if Man City gets a win, Man City will become 56 points. That emphatically shows that Arsenal will have only 2 points off Man City. Now, let us come here. This is Aston Villa with 51 points, Chelsea with 45, and Manchester United also with 45 points. Now, the beautiful thing here is that Chelsea and Aston Villa has played their game. Manchester United would have to play on Monday. Now, if we look at if Manchester United is able to get a win against Everton, this will become 48 points. 48 points means that we go into fourth position above Chelsea, having 2 points gap from them, and coming 3 points closer to Aston Villa, because 48 to 51 is 3 points. So you see that Manchester United have to win the game against Aston Villa. It is very important. So you see that very, very important that we get a win over Aston Villa and over Everton, because it gives us that opportunity to sit pretty in the third place, and also gives us gives us that gap away from Chelsea, knowing that it is not just 1 point ahead of Chelsea. Now it is 2 points. So if we look at it all round, the game against Everton, it will be a very interesting game, and where Manchester United will be looking at taking advantage of Everton and going taking advantage of the lapses from Chelsea and Aston Villa, and going up there into the table in the fourth place. And we all know that Aston Villa have some games that are going to be very difficult for them, just like the way they drew against Leeds today. We know that Aston Villa have games that will be very tough for them. Manchester United, on the other hand, after the Everton game, I think that we have games that we might just consider less hard. No, respect to every other team. Respect to every other team, but I think that Manchester United have been able to put themselves in that position where we can look at teams and say, okay, we can go through this one, right? We can go, yes. And after Everton, our next game will be Crystal Palace. Remember, I don't know what result we got against Crystal Palace in the first leg. And after Crystal Palace, we have Newcastle, then Aston Villa, and then that is the reason why I think that Manchester United should be at least getting a win against Everton, because if we get that win against Everton, we have Crystal Palace and we have Newcastle, then Aston Villa. At that point, we will know where we are. We might have overtook them on the table, or probably we might just be there ready to share points, So we will be going into the game against Aston Villa. We lost 3-0 to them in the first leg. So we are going into the game against Aston Villa to get also a revenge. In the first half of the season, we've lost to Everton and we've lost to Aston Villa. And now it is clear that we are going for revenge in these games, and it is going to be very, very interesting games. So for me, I think that Manchester United should be doing everything. Michael Carrick should be setting up plans, to make sure that he gets that win over Everton, and taking advantage of the lapses of Aston Villa and Chelsea. That will be it for now, my guys. I'm going to see you again. Thank you guys for joining this live. Thank you for staying through. I'm going to see you guys again. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Thank you. I'm going to bring Manchester United transfer news. Yes, I'm going to bring transfer news for Manchester United. I'm going to bring different news for you, and also different analysis of the things that are happening at Manchester United. See you guys tomorrow. One love.